This episode is brought to you by Instapot. Don't have pot? Need it fast? Instapot. Oh my God. Oh, they caught that.
What's that?
The live feed caught that.
Oh,
Too funny. All right. Okay, so we're here. How you doing, everybody? This is Max Farrow for the Chris and Max show, and I'm here with Christophe Gagne, my business partner and friend, and we are about to kick off episode 4 of the Chris and Max show. When that's like says 400, Chris, I don't know what we're going to do.
yeah.
So you're probably watching this after the fact, or I didn't even think I got an email out today. Today is the 13th of April, 2020. And is this still like Easter? Is this like Easter Mondays or something with the Monday after Easter?
Yeah, it's
celebrated.
Yep, it's Easter all week long. So
Right.
when you say Happy Easter and someone says, "Well, Easter's over," it's not. In the Catholic world, it goes all week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I figure that's about the show then. We'll all see you
Yeah.
next time. We're going to get out of here. This past week has been, from last week to this week, has been a Maxx Go Dark moment. You know what that is, and I guess our viewers don't. Some of you may know what that means, but it means that I've gone into the world of coding, if you will, to build our systems and programs. Stuff like this, which is our trading view chart system, stuff like this, our portal system with our 5-minute runs, all that kind of stuff. But so far, you and I, Chris, have talked about all kinds of things of working from home, and trading and how to become productive and do those kind of things. And it's always been like a highlight, right?
Mm-hmm.
In everything that we've always done, even if working. When I first started doing this, for me personally, working from home, because you've been working from home from very, very many things that you've done, being self-employed, working from home, whatever you're going to call it. But it's always been a side note, primarily a side note in my life, right? Like somebody said, "What do you do?" And I say, "Well, I trade." "Oh yeah, you're a trader. Cool." I don't say I trade from home and I'm a working homer, right? That sounds like a very bad TV cartoon show.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody ever says that as the primary of who they are, right? They always say, or I'm a trader, or I'm this, or I'm a data entryist, or something to that effect,
Well, there's still a negative there is, for the most part, a negative stigma associated with working from home. They don't think you have necessarily a real job.
Let's talk about that for a second. What are some of the negative stigmas that are? They I guess they devaluate the fact that you can make a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not true, right? We can debunk that almost immediately. We all make some sort of living or some sort of process. It's tough, right? But it can be done. I think the biggest one for me is that everybody thinks you don't wear pants.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that one's true. That one's true. I am wearing pants now, but they're sweatpants, so I guess that doesn't really count. But
well,
no,
I think the idea that's been ingrained, which is actually the opposite. There's a book from Cottage to Workstation. I can't remember who the author is, but from Cottage to Workstation is a book, and it goes through the whole idea of the late 19th century, where most everybody was an entrepreneur for themselves, and
right.
the arts. Actually, it was before that, but with the industrial age and things of that nature. So the whole idea of the book was that men would go out to work and be away from their families. So instead of having a cottage-like industry where they work from home, they went out to the factory and they went to work. And then you have the whole idea of mortgages, the government with the easy loans, and then eventually they got the woman out of the home as well, working. Now, I mean, these are just facts, right? Whether you believe that women should be out of the house working or not doesn't have any bearing at the moment, okay, for this particular point that I'm trying to get to. And so the whole idea now that we're in, believe me, I'm only highlighting the book here.
Right.
And so it's now there's this negative stigma where if you actually don't go out and even work in a cubicle, you're something a little bit less, and that you really can't make any money working at home. So it's
Yeah.
but now I believe with the situation that we have with people being at home, okay, they're going to be looking for something different, and they realize if I don't do this, now I'm in trouble. Where some people might say, well, work at home, make a couple of bucks kind of a thing, but or have my wife do it, or she can bring in $100 a month, $200 a month. So the stigma now is changing.
Yeah. Well, it sure is. And I know you're coming from with a lot of that, bar none, your wife standing behind you with a rolling pin about to hit you in the head. But the mentalities that you're just quoting from a relative amount of time that wasn't too long ago, that, barefoot and pregnant, the chauvinistic kind of mentality. But even still, there's a process, from feminism to women's lib to whatever it is, everybody has their right to have their conceiving of what they want to do. Right. Like I know a lot of single moms and single dads, and a lot more single moms than I know single dads, of course. But the concepts are the same. Making money from home has a process of stigma. You also add in with us, because we get it almost like in triple, right? We get the stigma from working from home, the stigma of trading money, right? And the stigma of using software to make money. And these particular things all sort of get riled up, that people forget that, these things can be done.
Well, I think here's the thing for people to consider, that we've now equated what we do for who we are.
Yeah.
And it's even in our language, right? Well, what do you do? Well, I'm a trader.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do? Well, I'm a programmer.
Right.
So I think for folks who are listening, the whole idea of this will give you the opportunity here in these times to determine who am I? Or as Shakespeare says, know thyself.
Yeah.
This will give you that opportunity, and to attempt to break that link between what you do and who you are is very important at this time. Just some thoughts.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. A lot of the concepts for people tend to get lost because they don't know who they are. They don't know what they want to be, let alone who they are. And so they struggle. And the amount of time that you have to put in to find that. I mean, know thyself. Yeah, I gotcha. But it takes time. You don't just wake up in the morning looking, hey, you're me. Okay, gotcha. But what do we do with that information? What do we do with that progression of timing meets, oh, my situation is that let's say you are a fan. Let's say you're just a man and a woman, and you got a kid, right? Or a couple and you have a kid, whatever it might be. And where do you need to live at? Well, you need a 2-bedroom home at least, right? Unless you want to have a little 1-bedroom apartment and you're okay with the kids sleeping between you and say goodbye to your sex life and everything else. Personal. But the concept is you need a domicile that's going to be sufficient for the kid and for you and for growth and whatever. God forbid you have a kid or have a goat or any other kind of animal, right? So you need a process to at least have a 1 or 2 bedroom. Well, in our state of economy, what does that equate? It's like huge, right? A 1-bedroom apartment, just even in like Philadelphia, is something like $1,100. So let's just say you got that. You got that looming over your head. You have $1,100 bill, but now you got to have internet. Because if you are going to work from home, you got to have some sort of way to communicate to the world, unless you're going to be self-employed. Being self-employed is another stigma, but it's something different. Yes, we are encapsulated by self-employedness, but there is also, you can own a hot dog cart, or you can have a sewing business. You have a shop you go to, or be an instructor for something. So there's varying degrees of our work at homeness to our, self-employedness, if you will. But the concepts still come down to, how do I make what I have work? and how much do I need to make it work? Well, the average family needs to have at least $50,000 a year coming in for income just to make that 2-bedroom house work, or 2-bedroom apartment work with their one kid. And that's low. That's like almost starving kind of process, right? You got no, because you have to have the car, you have to have insurance, you have to have life insurance, you have to have, or not life insurance, but medical insurance. You got to keep the kids safe. You got to, they're going to school, they're doing whatever progressional line they're in.
Right. When I was making six figures and we had all eight children,
Jeez.
you know, it's still I wouldn't even be considered middle class, if you
Right.
will,
Yeah.
because the amount of money that goes out in raising that large of a family,
Hmm.
it's still, people say, "Oh, that's a lot of money." Well, it isn't. It isn't really. Start adding up all the expenses, with schools, even homeschooling costs money,
Yeah.
and all those things. So
Yeah.
it's tough.
Handcuffs
On the other hand, on the positive side of that, which I don't know if people necessarily recognize, but when it costs money to have a job,
of
and
course.
because you have to have that second kind. Now there's another great book out there. It's relatively it's fairly old, I think a couple of decades at least. And it's called Two Incomes and Still Broke,
Yeah.
written by a gal, and it really goes into what it having a dual income really costs you,
What does it look
because
like?
your
Right.
expenses, if you say, well, okay, it costs money to have a job, which is
Oh,
true,
crap.
and then you take that, well, now I don't have to go to work, so your expenses technically for the most part come down. Because what do? You're both working, you have children, daycare, they're going to school, all the activities, and then what do you do with the sometimes the guy's going to want a boat, okay, you know or, well, we're going to go out to dinner because we've worked so hard all week, let's go out and splurge.
Right.
And so anyways, the book is called Two Incomes and Still Broke, and it still applies to today. So just for I'm giving you just a couple of books, that might be helpful in this
Right.
particular time, from Cottage to Workstation, understand what happened, and then Two Incomes and Still Broke, and you can get it at the library, if they're open.
Well, even, we could
But
probably put a link into Amazon or something to that effect as well.
yeah.
But my thought of, like watching my wife and I, we have a nice home in PA, and our kid goes to school. I have another child from a previous marriage that lives in New Hampshire, and the the ideas of two households, watching so many people trying to struggle and make money, it's difficult. So I think being at that level to where people are trying to work from home and trying to make something, it was always a side note, which I was really trying to get to originally, but now has become almost like a relative part that you have to make that part of your plan, right? That, like, there's no more luxury of thinking, well, I'll deal with it if something comes. That has come, right? How many people have lost their jobs? How many people have lost their process? Now, I'm not just talking about, now you need to become a trader. Now you need to become something secondary. Everybody should have, like, I heard people talk way back in the day as being a kid, oh, I hear that everybody's got a TV in their house. I'm never going to have a TV in my house. Oh yeah. Well, now you got 6 computers everywhere. Right. So, and now we're divulging away from TVs to computers and cell phones and all that stuff. So there's growth. But the concept is that nobody ever really thought that working from home could be something. That whole joke of, quarantine, this is my regular life. And I heard all these work at homers say that. I heard all these self-employed people, quarantine, geez, I'll just go get a hot dog cart and go out and sell food or do something, make something happen,
Mhm.
make buttons, whatever, as we say, sell coconuts,
Right, I think
but
that the view of it was as always a side hustle, and I can invest what I'm making in my job into my side hustle,
mhm,
and eventually go full time, which
yeah,
is absolutely the way to do it. But
it is.
now, rather than, well, a side hustle and then I'll quit my regular job. Well, for at least 20 million Americans now, that filed for unemployment,
Mhm.
now it's no longer a side hustle. Now
Yeah, it
it's
can't be.
and now I got to act now with virtually little little money to invest, and it's time versus money. For those who are
It
at
is.
home, now gives you the opportunity to put the time in rather than having the money in order to try something different.
And this is something that led us to where we're at today. The idea of the side hustle becoming the primary of what you need to do, learning to trade, learning to do this process that you're seeing me do as just we're talking on, and to encapsulate like our programs in our system. This is only one way. We do have another system that we're bringing out here soon called Dex Ally, which is something I won't go too much in today, but it is a Dex brand. It's the Dex mentality. It's the honesty and sincerity. It's the compassion and the willingness and the transparency. It's everything in a bag of nuts, because it is important for people to know that we are sincere in wanting to help people build their idea of success. And sometimes it may not be involved around trading. What we have done, though, with Dex Effects Markets is that we knew immediately, we seen this pattern because we see how the markets just develop, but just the mentality behind it, that when this did not go away, like after the first week, and we're watching people, well, I got to leave, because we saw long-term standing customers say, I can't afford, I can't afford it, but I don't know what's coming, so I'm going to cancel this one. We were the low-bearing fruit. We were what everybody cuts when, all right, well, times ain't good right now, I'm going to cut you, right? I get it. And subscriptions to our system started to fall. And that's when Chris and I really started to really go, you know what, something has to change here. And we have to make a change bigger than anybody else has ever done. That's why we did the COVID thing. That's why we did the, make all the systems free system, or make the Dex Atomic system free. And this is why this has worked. We've gone up like 300 members since we've done this. We haven't fallen. We've grown. We've grown in numbers of people and people that want to make something more. And yes, of course, it's a free product. So, and nobody has any risk at that point. And maybe out of those 300, maybe 150 of them will stick around, whatever. But the concept is, I don't want to, even after COVID, I don't want to ever charge for this product again. I don't want to charge for this product in the normal way. And here's how we're developing this process. We are going to allow you to come in and have the Dex Atomic for free until you start making money. I'm not talking, your other side hustle, like you're going to being a doctor. I'm talking about, once you start making money through trading on an honor system. And once you start doing that, once you start making money, jump over to the donation page. Click on a donation page. And if it's only something like maybe, oh, hey, I made $60 this week, don't worry about that nonsense. Make money consistently. And once you're making money consistently, you can come on and hit the recurring donation button and choose something, right? Choose something you see it's worth. Is it worth $20 a month to you, or $40 or 60 or 80 or 100? That's up to you. If you can't afford $100 a month, pick the 20. If you can't afford 20, then keep trading. Keep making it work. Get to a point of your idea of success and then share with us. I'm okay with that. I'm not only okay with it, I demand it, as far as don't pay us anything until you can afford to do it, or you have a desire to or willingness to help. If that's there, you have the ability to help, do it. But if you don't. In the future, what will happen is that all of our system will be in this sort of way, except for the ZDON bot system. That's a different mentality, right? And it may become part of the free system. It may become part of all that process. We don't know yet really what's etched in stone for the future. And all of you will get an email from our Dex Ally system, because it's also to help you learn other products, other systems that may be able to help you if you're working from home. Dex Effects Market is only one solution to working from home.
And I think it's, for the working at home idea. All right, I'm a book guy.
Yeah.
So I've read a lot of books.
Mm-hmm.
And the other book, and it's I don't even know if it's available anymore. I think they had put up the website for sale a while ago, but it's called Your Money or Your Life.
Right.
And with the book generally what it did is it said, don't, a lot of people try to budget, and then they put, well, let me see if you can, they try to budget, transportation. Well, what's transportation? Does transportation, if I'm going out to dinner, is that part of transportation or is that part of entertainment?
Right,
So
right, right.
it just goes through, yeah, the 9 steps. Now they have you
That's what I do.
investing in, what was it? Bonds,
Mhm.
US bonds. So, it's going to be a little complicated, but I think you see it there in the paperback.
Mhm.
It's a really good book because your budget is whatever you spend your money on.
Yeah.
So and it really helps your relationship with money, exactly what it's saying. So I'm recommending that. I'm recommending that book and that process as well.
In the future, we're going to have these books set with little links to it, so you can go enjoy that. And when you buy through our links, you help us and other traders and other people that are working from home be able to do that. And these shows too will not just be in the future for the Dex effects market. There will also be for Dex Ally and other things that we're going to be doing. Chris and I have a tremendous amount of experience put together of just being able to do that, is to find and troubleshoot and figure stuff out, take inspiration from books and from systems that we've developed and helped with. So I think that you would all benefit from those solutions. Okay, so I guess the big kumbaya moment here is that all of you that are watching this now and live or after the fact or what have you should understand that there's a huge opportunity for all of you to take part in. And what's really important is that you have to get in and do your part. It's going to be more difficult because when you come in and you pay a certain amount down, and you're like, all right, well, I got to get in there and I got to make it work because I got, I have an ROI. I just spent 127 bucks. My wife said I can't spend any more money on anything else until I get this done, or I figure it out, or I make some money, or I need to have this ROI done, or I need to get that money back from original, or you're incentivized because you paid money. You have worth because you pay money. There's also a lifetime subscription that we have to the system you can make payments on, that you never have to worry about that stuff again, for when we have all of our stuff. All of our paid stuff comes with that, the ZDOM bot and anything in the future that we build. So those are good deals as well. But if you're in for the free side, your motivation should be a goal that you set to make money. Not so much, oh, I need to get in and learn the system within a week, but incentivize yourself. Like, what does it look like for what you need to make? And don't just make some bullshit up, right? Don't be like, $7,000 a month sounds really good to me, or anything over $1.50 is good for me. No, set yourself a goal. Look at your bills. Look at the money that you need. Are you a bread earner for your house? Are you half responsible, a third responsible, zero responsible? That's up to you, but set yourself a goal. If it is going to be $7,000, that looks different than the dude that wakes up at 10 o'clock and goes, what should I do today? Right? That looks different from the person that goes, oh, well, I just tried 2 or 3 times. I didn't win, so I'm not going to do this. You have to be tenacious. You got to be ready to get in there and make it work.
And the thing is, Max, is that you get involved in doing something, anything, even with our Dex Ally, just learn something. And then the ideas start to flow.
Right.
And same thing with trading okay. All right. I mean, I've even used the example of some people, highly successful marketers. They watch video games to come up with ideas,
right.
And so once you get involved in something, you'll see a different twist, or you may be in conversation on Facebook with somebody, and they mentioned that they're going to be selling coconuts.
Yeah.
And then, well, I can't sell coconuts, but I can sell lemon, whatever. I mean, you get the idea. So the whole idea and what we're going to be coming up with the Dex Ally is to promote ideas on how you can make money from home by learning different skills and a whole bunch of different ideas. And you may start out with an idea and it may look totally different from what comes out even 2 months later. And don't be afraid of that.
Well, there's a progression too that we'll have with Dex Ally, which will be that you can come to the site and you can take all the free courses you want. Like it really is open to the public for free courses, but there are some, like there's a free course on learning how to make videos for Amazon to sell products and things like that. There's a free course in there that shows you the process on how to use Amazon, how to get an account, how to make the videos, how to get that process, what easy systems to use. And then there's an advanced one, the one that says, okay, listen, you learned how to hit the baseball. Now I'm going to teach you how to hit home runs, right? So there's because you need to, the worst thing in the world is to go spend $157 for a course and find out you're not going to be any good at it, right? Or you don't have what it takes. So I want you to watch a free system, learn some stuff. You'll get that. We make money if you just go to the website, because you'll trigger ads and all this other kind of stuff, but you'll eventually go, wait a minute, this is what I really want. And then you could buy into the bigger program, right? When I say bigger program, it's like $27. So it's like hardly nothing if you find something, right? If you don't like that one, it's like, all right, I got that one. Maybe I could do something else. Go to another free course, hit something else up, how to make money with Canva, which is a network that, you can learn how to sell. If you're artistic, you can learn stuff on how to use certain programs and softwares to make money with on Fiverr or on Canva or whatever. There's many programs that teach you how to work from home.
I think the principles the principles are the same in business. Setting up your website, having something to sell, being tenacious, as you said, and sticking with it, enjoying what you're doing at the same time, and really getting in there. So you might say, well, I want to learn how to sew zippers on winter jackets or something like that. You say, well, I don't like winter jackets, but I like sewing, or you find out that you can't sew, whatever. And then you can go on to the same thing. But the idea of setting up a website, having something to sell, they're all the same. All you have to do is just find what it is that you enjoy, or perhaps another product, or you don't even have to do any of that, how to set up an affiliate program and just tell people about it. You don't even have to be an expert at it. You just like someone else's idea and you're willing to help them sell it. So now, all different kinds of opportunities.
For most of you that are like, wait a minute, isn't this the Dex Effects Markets Chris and Max show? Well, yeah, it is. But it's also, we're opportunists. We're people, Chris and I, we look at what the market has produced and what we can do. This is a string, but we're letting you know that we've done this just because we know that trading may not be your only thing. I mean, could it be? Yeah, absolutely. If you're a trader and you're here right now and you're watching this, the majority of you can make trading work. But for those that can't, we're offering you opportunity. And we're going to do that. We're going to constantly do that. We're not going to offer you more opportunity in trading. That'd be ridiculous, right? Because our system is the simplest program out there. If you can't make trading work with our system, then you probably should not be trading. I love you, but that's what it is. You won't be trading, right? So there's all kinds of things, whether or not you need a website or not, but the best, and it's not even about the training itself, but it's about the connection. Okay. I can help you, and Chris can help you, and others can help you within our network figure that out, even on a simple phone call. We can ask you a dozen questions. We can put this little questionnaire thing together for you to help figure that out and find out what you like to do. If it's something exotic, like, hey, I want to make, plastic flowers and sell them on the internet, you're going to need a certain things. If, hey, I just want to, click a bunch of links and put them in the Facebook. I'm great with social networking and sending people to products and finding out what they want. You may be an affiliate marketer, but from working from home, it takes an unusual cat to be able to do it, but everybody can do it. You just have to change the mentality a little bit. It's the same thing with trading. I when I hear somebody go, Max, I want to be a trader, but I don't want to sit in front of my computer all day and watch a screen. Well, you wouldn't really have to, but just that mentality alone tells me you don't want to be a trader. You want to be an investor. And investing into something that trades for you on a network could work, but you still need to set it up. It's either that or go to an investment firm and say, here's $10,000 and go invest for me and see you later. You're never going to spend money on a system and take $1,000 or $500 and put it down and have it automatically trade for you without a bump to somebody else, without a kick to somebody else, right? To an investment portfolioist or a manager or something else to that effect. There's no programs out there that do that.
Well, Max, one of the things with the Chris and Max show that we're going to be bringing out is for those of you who who want to trade and do trade and are already trading, I should say. Max is right saying that this is probably one of the simplest programs, and for the most part, least expensive, if you will. And
Oh yeah.
that's not shouldn't be the only reason, but what we're attempting to do, and Max and I took a look at this, when this whole COVID started, and we pretty much anticipated what was going to happen. So we said, well, okay, we're going to have to provide those people, that are with us or never heard of us and want to come on board, and we need to make a show that'll provide people with some opportunities and some hope from working from home, and the idea of being, supporting a family in some way, shape, or manner. If you're, single mom or single person, no children, and all those kind of things. So this isn't something we just thought of, yesterday on the first episode. We really did anticipate this. So we would like to have the Chris and Max show a little bit more than just about trading and really helping people out, like Max was just saying. So please, consider us, and we'll be putting out information and seeing things, and we really are here to help you, either with trading or just having an idea in your head and being able to bounce it off another human being.
Because the ultimate part of our solutions too is that once we get to know who you are, if you have the tenacious fortitude to do it, and you're there, we want to help you. And the worst thing in the world is for someone to go try to do it and figure it all out. Just like there's in trading, there's a lot of scams out there. There's all those MLMers, network marketers, buy these drugs for maybe it'll cure cancer or whatever it is, right? Or to make you stronger or whatever. There's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of dead ends, if you will, of figuring stuff out. Learn how to stuff envelopes. I'm going to teach you how to make $15 a day by selling just one person a day. Send me $15 and I'll tell you how. That's basically it. They're called envelope stuffers, right? And what it is that you're just going to go find somebody else and say to them, hey, I want to teach you how to make $15 a day by just selling one person. Send me $15. That's it. You understand? So there's a lot of gimmicky things that are out there that you have to be careful of. But what we want to provide is an availability to know that if you have an idea or if you want to learn about something, we're willing to invest in you. And when we talk to you, when we deal with you, when we work with you, when we consult with you, we're investing in you. We could possibly even build a website. Like if you're really good at doing videos or providing content, then joint venture with us. Build the content and we'll put it onto a website for you, and you'll make money every time somebody goes to it. We could do that for you. We'll take a little cut. You get the majority of it. And that's it. We can work with that. There's so many opportunities. We can make a network that we can help each other all along the way, because Chris and I have built the systems and the programs for major websites, for major systems that we own. And we know what it's like to be successful at that level and at your level that you want to be at. Because in the beginning, it had to start somewhere and it had to progress to something. So we've already been past your level. So what we're doing now is we're giving back to the industry and back to what we have learned, but we've learned it in the hard way. I mean, if we had a Chris and Max out there back when we were doing this, it'd probably be a different story. We would have got there probably a lot faster. Yeah.
So, and then coming back, I think I mentioned this a couple episodes ago, when now you're at a point when you have people asking you, well, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
At least from a psychological point of view,
yeah,
you can say, well, I'm developing a system where I'm learning how to put my idea out on out on the internet, and I'm instructing people on how to install zippers on winter coats or summer coats, whatever. But the thing is,
you go to the oddest places with those ones. I like that. Yeah, we learned how to take sticks and turn them into chairs.
Yeah,
here at the Gagne Ranch here, and we take old washing machines and turn them into spaceships.
But the thing is that people, okay, most everybody is on social media, except for me. But the whole idea is when you hear yourself talking or when you're writing it down for what it is that you're doing or attempting to do or getting involved in something along the lines of and I keep promoting the Dex Ally, even though we haven't shown it.
It's not even up yet.
Right.
Well, the site's there, but it isn't.
But the whole idea of it is that you're reinforcing your idea on what it is that you want to do. And by
Yes.
writing it down and you're telling your friends and your enemies what it is that you're doing, you're reinforcing it in your mind that that's what I'm going to do. And people, and you may be talking with somebody and they say, well, oh, you want to be an affiliate for so-and-so? Well, maybe another, well, I'm an affiliate for this, or they might find some better way of promoting your product or whatever, just by telling other folks what you're doing. So it's important for your psychological well-being to reinforce and get an idea of what direction that you want to go in. And like Max was saying, we're here to help you if you so desire.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. For the last little part of this, we'll probably end a little bit early today because we have some other meetings to go do. But there is on our Dex Effects Markets website and system, our Dex Atomic portal system has been just kicking ass. I mean, we've been working really close with a lot of traders now. This system has just really started to work very well for a lot of people from the manual side. We've always touted that if you come to the network, you should be trading with the 1 hour, 2 hour trading system first. This is what you should learn because it teaches you how to spot and look at dynamic levels. And it's very important using support and resistance and learning these terms and how the value of the market moves. And when the arrow comes, what levels to put statements on through NADEX, the North American Derivative Exchange. Learning how to make money through this process is very important. And in doing so, we've also made a process for more advanced traders to be able to use our same system. Let me just put this back down to one. Over on tradingview.com as well. And we've made this system using a special indicator platform that gives you a lot more data and a lot more control. Now, this is the paid system. So if you don't have a lot of money, I mean, this only costs like $59 a month to have, or not even that much. I think it's really you can have it with a free system and we can give it to you and all that stuff, for donations and everything else that you do on the site. There's a lot of opportunity. If you're unsure, just give us a call and ask, what kind of deals can I put together? I only have this amount, and we'll let you know. But for the most part, this is the more advanced. Once you start making money with the Dex Atomic system over here, you can easily buy into this network because you'll be able to afford it. You'll have ROI, you'll have consistency and that process. But for those of you that are already there, this is what's coming out next, is this TradingView process. And whether or not our website is ever there, once you have that code, it's there forever. That code will never go away. And this system works. It works more than anything I've ever worked on before in my entire life. And I've made a lot of systems. And this is the system that I use to make my money every month. Okay. So once this system is there, there is an alert system on it as well. This is the alert one to where you can put an alert down and it will give you a signal out that says, hey, look, it's a buy. Here's the price. So you can be away and you can have your phone, you can go over to your pad, you can go to your computer or whatever, and be able to trade from that fashion as well. And it is very, very powerful. But just like everything else, you got to get in and you got to work it, right? If you're learning how to trade. If you don't want to trade and you just want to be an investor, we may have a course on that soon. But until we do, you'll have to figure something else out. So when we come out with Dex Ally, you may be invited to that as well. All right. Nothing else too much special happening this week other than a lot of building throughout the network. We survived the NFP from last week, no problems. The 5-minute system is on there. You want to use this as a training platform, please do so, but do not use this for live trades unless you are just a superstar on it. How do you become a superstar, Chris, on 5-minute trades? Listen to him giggle. Yeah, you know why? He's like, yeah, a pound of crack and a whole bunch of bourbon. No, but
Certainly not box wine.
no,
That's
not
for
box
sure.
wine, right?
I
Yeah,
know.
we talked about that. Yeah, you can't trade them, but you could probably trade on bourbon, but not box wine. You got to get real aggressive. You got to get brown. You got to get brown liquor drunk to
Yeah.
really bad. But on the 5-minute systems, no, it is a process that you have to really work and know. And you're going to lose a lot. You're going to win a lot. You're going to lose a lot. But once you start really getting the feel of it, you can make it work. You use the 5-minute system to learn how the market moves, because it moves the same on a 5-minute as it does on a 1 hour trade or a 2 hour trade. It values levels. It looks at dynamic. You could do 12 trades an hour and you could be getting a lot of information from that process easily enough. But if you're light at heart and you're a good person, you don't want to trade 5-minute trades. You will become a nasty, bitter,
You're not going to, you can do it for X amount of time. And then you're
right.
just going to have to, if you are successful, you need to walk away from it.
Yeah, it's like race car driving, right? Like you
Yeah.
can do it. Well, some of you are really good at it.
It's a thrill.
Right. It is a
when you're
thrill.
making money with it. I mean, it's an absolute thrill. I mean,
But then the
I
moment
won't
you
deny
don't,
that.
moment you crash into the wall, you got to look at yourself like a race car driver to trade 5 minutes, because you really got to be really, really super good at it or crazy enough to keep doing it. Right. Because if it just, and again, I invented the program and I'm like, yo, that's too much for me. Right. So, the real power here is the Dex Atomic Portal. Get in there, learn how to use it, build it, work it, make it happen, and be done with it from there. All right. We're gonna talk about
Max,
the wall. Yeah.
Just as we wrap things up here, rather, ladies, if you're listening to this idea of trading, it's an art form. I mentioned this before in another episode.
Mm-hmm.
The women, the ladies, you ladies can really do this. This is right up your alley. I mean, this is just something that you will find it will be just natural, and you'll say, well, why do guys have so many problems with it? If they're having difficulty. For the guys, I'm offering both the guys and the ladies encouragement here. For the guys, especially if you're a breadwinner and you're attempting to support a family, be encouraged. Get in here and learn something different. It's not difficult to be able to pick up the art form, if you will, in trading. You have plenty of tools that are available. So I'm encouraging both the guys and the ladies to get in here and give it a try. And as you're doing it, you're probably going to come up with different ideas just in general, like I was mentioning before. I'm offering encouragement for this particular system for you.
No worries. So for all of you that are on board and you're here for the free side and you're inside the system, we want to welcome you on board. The sponsors for this week, Ron Fickert, Jared James, Kevin Clark, Miles Berglund, Enoch, Siniros. I hope I pronounced your last name, and I'm really sorry. The Atomic Xenon sponsors, Jeffrey Giles, Jason Clark, Anita Rhodes, Victor S.A., Doug McDonald, Ron Fickert, Jeff Vanderberg, Timothy O'Neill, Miles Berglund, and Jeff Hibbett. Ooh, damn, did it again. Of course, we have all of our founders and co-founders from many years ago from the whole process. We wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you guys as well. But for the Dex Atomic Xenon sponsorship, thank you so much. For all you Dex contributors as well that are out there making money and was helping us keep the site and surviving, we really do appreciate it. On Wednesday, we will be having a technical meeting where Chris and I will be discussing certain processes with the Dex Atomic, as well as support in resistant areas and how to develop those on charts and on the systems that we have. These shows are, somebody wrote me the other day, is like, hey, Max, when are you going to talk more about trading on the Dex and the Chris and Max show? Well, we do in a way, but this is more of a welcoming video for a lot of people who are just coming on board, but also for Chris and I to talk about the market, the extension of the economy, those kind of things, and just have some fun with this. There's a lot of training on board, right? I'm not going to be able to give you anything more in these shows on how to trade than is already in the network. There's no reason for me to be redundant and cover it that way, right? Just like our sales videos cover sales, but in this, we kind of give you more of an insight on who we are. The Chris and Max show is really about Chris and I being able to talk to each other, make each other laugh, have a good time, talk about the different products we have, the different things we do. the different mentalities we have, the missing pieces that are in between the lessons that are on the website. So keep that in mind. We're not always going to come on and talk about trading, but we are always going to come on and talk about building a business at home, being an entrepreneur. Because when somebody asks you what to do from now on, you don't have to say you're a trader. You don't have to say you work at home. Say you're an entrepreneur, because that's what you are. You're learning how to make a business for yourself, for your family and you, or you personally, to survive in a world that is not making it easy. Never has made it easy, but now it's made it harder.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to help you alleviate that process by giving you the tools and the opportunity to do so.
Max, were we talking about having Thor and Paul and yourself on to do specific shows about trading?
Yeah,
You know,
Tuesdays.
rather than just the Chris and Max show. What were your thoughts on that?
Tuesdays and Thursdays, we were supposed to be doing that, and we still will do that. I just wanted you to know about the Chris and Max show. But yes, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Thor Rafferty and I will be doing technical shows. The reason why I'm talking on Wednesday with you about this process, because we're going to use some unusual methods to help, to discover market analysis and looking at market and spotting trend and spotting processes, because you're going to be able to do that in just about anything that you could use that mentality called top-down analysis to be able to get to your goals even faster. So it's a process to learn on how to itemize and shrink down even to it teaches you how to goal set, right? And different levels of set. So that's why we're incorporating it in a one station.
Oh, okay. See, so for those who are listening, sometimes we have no script. So sometimes Max will come up with an idea and I won't find out about it until the
I say about it, right?
Oh, I didn't know that, Max. Just
Yeah.
like
Right. And that happens. It happens. But yeah, I was telling Chris, we don't do a script because we would sound robotic. If I start to read from a script, it'll be terrible. I wouldn't remember my lines in theater anyway. All right. Well, I really do appreciate you all hanging out with us. If you have any problems or questions, please reach out to us on the sites. We have a tremendous amount of systems that are out there that help communicate with us, from chat rooms on the website to like these little 3 buttons down here that you'll see that we're always, somebody's always around here to help. And if you have any problems whatsoever, please give us a call or write. We do have a phone number on the website as well. If you're wanting to, please donate to the process. If you can't afford to do it, please don't use your daily bread. If you got the extra money, please do so. A one-time donation or a reoccurring is completely up to you. If you want to be a part of the Atomic Zedon project, this takes a little bit more of an investment to do. So please keep that in mind, but you do get a lot of stuff with it, and you get lifetime with the process, or the Zedon system for you get 3 copies of it. So even if you're a $100 sponsor, it is worth it. Those $1,000 sponsors, there's a lot of stuff that's not on this sheet that you get for a $1,000 sponsor, because there's just so much that we're appreciative of all the hard work that we do, as well as what you guys do to get that money. So we appreciate it. So if you can afford to do it, please do. If not, then you'll see you on the next time around. Chris, you got anything you want to add before we do the last?
No, I just like for everybody to be encouraged. We're in a totally different paradigm now as far as markets are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So either you have to adjust to the paradigm when it comes to income and what you're going to do to provide either for yourself or for a family or for your parents or whatever. It's a totally different world now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the old paradigm of go to college, get a job, buy a house, and those days are over. And just being able to adapt and be encouraged, and having a platform such as the Dex Atomic as a starting point, at least.
Yeah.
Be encouraged by this opportunity that you have, and stay with us. We're here to help you out, and just stay positive. And I'm not talking about the whole, the positive Norman Vincent Peale type of stay positive when you don't have any food on your table. That's not what I'm
tough.
talking about.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's just, you got to, but whatever it is, you got to work at it, and you got to say, I'm going to do this. And we're here to help you if we can.
Yeah, because nothing's worse in the world, especially in times of crisis, when you're out there looking for something and you find somebody that seems to be like they show you a way, right? They show you a process, and then to find out that they just took your last $750 or last $25 or whatever it may be, and that sort of etches into something different. So we are trying to help you learn a way to get around that and look through the process, even if we teach you what not to do in the process. So as an ending statement for us today here for the Chris and Maxx and Dex Effects and Our City and everything else, we know it's not going to be easy. And we know that even if it does come down to it, you know, Chris and I have a saying, you know, what happens if it all just falls out? Well, we'll trade coconuts. Well, what better people to be able to line up with than people that are willing to do whatever it takes to make it work and to help as many people as possible along the way. So we're not just out for ourselves. We are out to help as many people. And so help us create a community, join us, be a part of the network, and we'll help you as much as we possibly can. I'm Max Farrow with Christophe Gagne. Chris, thanks a lot for hanging out with us.
Okay.
I shouldn't really say that because it's you and I together. You're not just like along for the ride.
Well, you know, we just we've been doing it for so long that it just kind of just comes out that way.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't take it personally. My feelings aren't hurt, Max.
Good. All right. Well, thanks to me and not to Chris. But, no. Thank you all for hanging out with us today and being a part of our lives. Christophe and I can speak for Chris on this, that we really do appreciate all of you for your efforts and what you're trying to do. And remember, work hard is a statement that is held personally inside of you. You know, a result is never the amount of what you work on. So you have to work smart and hard. And sometimes, you know, the who you know over what you know may be there, but know one thing for sure. If you call us and you ask us questions and you need help or you need something, we may not always have all the right answers for what's perfect, but we know what we know and what we do. And we're willing to share our knowledge for free with all of you that need help. All right. I'm Max Farrow. This is DexFXMarkets.com. I really appreciate you all hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. And as always, live well.